It's time for another one of those videos where I ask which the following movie from this region do you like the most. This time we're going to talk about Hoenn, or in this case, when Misty got replaced by May. I'm probably going to get hate mail for saying this, but I actually prefer May compared to Misty. If you're one of those Misty fans, I dare you to write, well, I have a dare for you. I dare you to find at least 5 things that May does... No, I'm sorry. I dare you to find 5 things that Misty does better than May. So, go ahead. That's your challenge. But aside from that, let's take a look at these 4 Hoenn movies. 3 of them were done by 4Kids Entertainment, voice-wise, and 1 was done by TCPI, which, when 4Kids Entertainment pretty much lost the rights to Pokemon, I kind of wish they still had the rights up until Diamond and Pearl. I would have preferred it that way, but you can't expect things the way you hope for. Anyway, here are the 4 films. First up we have is Jirachi Wishmaker, the 6th film. This was owned by Miramax. This and Destiny Deoxys, both of those films got to air on Toon Disney's Big Movie Show. And I think they aired on Disney XD as well. Correct me if I'm wrong. It was probably between 2010 to 2013. I don't know. If I knew, I would tell you. But I didn't have Disney XD at the time, so I can't really answer that question. I did, however, watch newer episodes of Pokemon on Cartoon Network, well, from 2011 to 2017 when Cartoon Network decided to pull the plug, because all they care about these days is TTG, and I hate that series. In Jirachi Wishmaker, it involves a Jirachi, of course, and what ends up happening is one of the characters wants to use Jirachi's power to create a Groudon. Unfortunately, things don't go very well. I would have liked to see Kyogre in that film, but it probably would have been even worse. So it's probably best that we didn't see Kyogre in that movie. Also, most people like this film because of the lullaby May sang to Max and Jirachi. That's the lullaby that their mother sang to them when they were younger, is what I was informed. Aside from that, that's Jirachi Wishmaker. Next we have is Destiny Deoxys, another film owned by Miramax. This one also got to air on Toon Disney's Big Movie Show. And I think both of them aired on Cartoon Network, if I'm not mistaken. So correct me if I'm wrong. In this film, they go to this futuristic city. It's pretty cool. Unfortunately, things get out of hand when Deoxys and Rayquaza pretty much invade the city. All Deoxys is trying to do is look for his best friend. Unfortunately, Rayquaza gets in the way, and people are getting the wrong idea, so yeah. You'll have to watch it and understand. Anyway, do I recommend Destiny Deoxys? Yeah, it's actually a good film. It's got some funny moments. I totally recommend Destiny Deoxys. After this one, next we have is Lucario and the Mystery of Mew. I know my package is a 2-in-1 collector's edition. The other film on this is The Mastermind of Mirage Pokemon. That's a special. That doesn't count. But this was also when they changed the voices to the TCPI dub because 4Kids pretty much decided to drop it altogether. That's why Pokemon moved from Kids WB to Cartoon Network in the US. And then now it's on Disney XD, because Cartoon Network only cares about one thing. Well, mostly one thing, and a few other things. The only anime they pretty much show these days is Bakugan, and let me tell you, I'll save that topic for another video. In Lucario and the Mystery of Mew, they go to a party, which is basically one of those royal parties. It's really fun. They get to wear interesting costumes, and they battle. And the winner gets to sit in the throne and celebrate. Well, they have to sit there, unfortunately. Everyone else has to gather around and dance. Unfortunately, Mew invades, and what ends up happening to Meowth and Pikachu, and I think, well, just those two, they ended up getting teleported to where Mew is located. So, I don't know if Mew is evil or not, so some say it is. I'm not 100% sure. And then Lucario shows up, and they have to track down where they went. So they go on an adventure, and the only fight I mostly remember is when Lucario and Ash fought. Man, am I glad Misty wasn't in that film. She probably would have lost her cool and probably yelled at both of them. I don't know. I'm just saying. It is possible. But aside from that, yeah. That's the only scene I mostly remember from Lucario and the Mystery of Mew. But if I were, do I recommend this film? If you're a huge Lucario fan, well, you're probably going to hate the ending. Because Lucario makes a sacrifice. Mainly, he wanted to sacrifice more. It would have been Ash, but had that happen, I could tell you at least one Pokegirl, at least, or two in this case, they would not be happy. And yes, I'm talking about Serena and Misty, but that's a different story. Next up, or last we have, is the first one dubbed by TCPI, also known as Pokemon USA, the Temple of the Sea. I kind of wish 4Kids still had the rights to Pokemon, because Battle Frontier was when the voicing was kind of dull and repetitive for some of the characters. I didn't like how Ash sounded in Battle Frontier. However, Sarah Natashini has improved, although Veronica Taylor, according to most people, would say is the real Ash Ketchum. I know a lot of you people want Veronica to return as voicing Ash, but it's impossible. As for the other characters, Michelle Knotts does a fine job as May. Unfortunately, I hate her as Misty, but I like her as May. And I'm probably going to get a lot of backlash, but I kind of like Michelle Knotts as May more than Veronica Taylor. Because, I say this kindly because, at least in one episode, I ended up mistaking some of the voicing for a different character. Like the one episode where they have to look after these 3 starter Pokemon, and one of them becomes a total, well, snob, and then it evolves, and then they have to borrow May's Pokemon to convince them, well, just to see which one they want to pick. If you want to see that episode, I'll have it in the description or the title of it, and you can look it up. Because I actually thought that was May who shouted "forget it" instead of Ash in that episode. This is why I prefer Michelle doing the voice of May compared to Veronica. As for Temple of the Sea, it's about they go to this location where they find these performers and stuff, and this person is hiding a Pokemon egg, which is Manaphy, for those who don't know. And they're hiding it because they don't want the Pokemon pirate to get his hands on it. Unfortunately, he does catch up to them, and things, well, here's where things get interesting. If the egg hatches in front of you, that Pokemon's going to think you're the father or mother. Like what Togepi did when Misty said, "Oh, let me see." Of course, most haters would probably punch her in the face and say, "Not on my watch." I'm just guessing. But seriously, I'm going to save that topic for another time about Togepi. But for now, back onto the film. Sorry I went off topic. I had to bring that up just to give you an idea. In Temple of the Sea, they go to this Temple of the Sea, and it's being invaded because the Pokemon pirate is causing all this. And it's up to the main guys to get this all situated. So, in conclusion, do I recommend Temple of the Sea? Well, if you can get used to the voices change, that's what I would say. But other than that, between the following movies, which one is your favorite? Jirachi Wishmaker, Destiny Deoxys, Lucario and the Mystery of Mew, or Temple of the Sea? Go ahead and write your response in the comments, and I'll stay tuned for my next video where I talk about the Sinnoh movies.